I want my constituents, I want my constituents' children's children to be able to enjoy the freedom that is given them.
We need Congress to act, and we need them to act now. We are here in person because that's how important it is to protect everyone's freedom to vote. And we will keep fighting with everything we have.
Texas Democrats still pleading for federal protections on voting rights. And here's yet another reason why. Republicans in Georgia are actively trying to take over elections in a crucial Democratic stronghold. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports, quote, State Representative Jan Jones and 4 other House Republican legislators sent a letter Friday demanding a review of Fulton County's election management, a critical step in Georgia's new voting law that must take place before the state election board can overhaul a county's election board. Still with us, Victoria DeFrancesco Soto, Bill Kristol. Victoria, you know this. Voting rights activists are capping a 4-day March for Democracy with a rally where you are at the Texas Capitol tomorrow. The Reverend Barber said, look, democracy's in trouble. If we say this is the worst attack since the Civil War, the answer has to be massive. What needs to happen here?
We need to see a movement, and it's really very much looking at the playbook of the 1960s. What was that playbook that was pushing against over 24 Jim Crow laws that restricted voting across the American South? We're starting to see the same thing, Chris. So what we're seeing in this fight is folks going to Washington. I'm going to assert my Texas bias here, but I really think that the presence of the Texas Democrats from the legislature here has really helped keep this in the spotlight. But then at the same time, you see the grassroots marches, the civil disobedience we saw with Sheila Jackson Lee getting arrested yesterday. We see the march going to culminate in Washington, D.C. a month from now. All of these pieces together are what is causing this movement because, look, at the end of the day, the Republicans in legislatures across the southern states and some other states as well have the numbers. But as a result of that, you see the pressing need of mobilization from all of these different areas, as we're seeing right now. But ultimately, it has to be a federal level protection, just like we saw in 1965.
So if that's the goal, Bill Kristol, for folks who want to do something about voting rights, protecting people's right to vote, the president met with Democratic leadership on passing a narrower voting rights bill. But really, what are the chances that Republicans are going to really negotiate here, be willing to get on board with something?
I don't know that the chances of any or certainly many Republicans coming on board are at all good. But I will say this. They've done what people thought they couldn't do, which is I think they're about to come up with a consensus bill, which Senator Manchin has helped write, which will be a narrower, more targeted voting rights bill and an election integrity bill, really preventing the overturning of elections by Republican legislatures, and with other provisions as well, including federal requirements for some voter ID, which conservatives might like. They've come up with a bill. They'll have it next week. They're also going to introduce a new version of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act next week. I think they'll end up being merged. And the meeting this afternoon in the White House was important, I think. The president, the vice president, the speaker, Majority Leader Schumer, I was told it went over an hour, and I was told they focused almost entirely on voting rights. They have a lot to talk about, those people. Yeah. They could have talked about COVID and infrastructure. So I think they're serious, and I think they're going to try to get some Republicans once they have the bill next week. And then they'll see if they can get any. But if not, I now think the odds are better than I would have thought a month ago, that they'll come together to adjust the filibuster on this one issue, because I do think they're convinced, as Victoria was saying, how urgent and important this is.